One evening, Percy was bringing empty stone trucks down from the harbour. He was tired of quarrelling with Thomas and wanted to be friends again. He was having a good day and felt extra pleased with himself. But he was so busy thinking about what he would say to Thomas and Toby about his expert handling of the trucks that he forgot to keep a good lookout. It was too late that he saw a low-hanging branch from a tree right in front of him. "Oh no! Stop! Stop!" he groaned. He tried to stop, but his brakes wouldn't hold him. "Ouch!" he exclaimed a moment later. The branch hit his smokebox, broke away, and crashed to the ground. Percy was more startled than hurt, but his front was still sore when he reached the shed. "It's your own fault," grumbled Thomas unsympathetically. "You should learn to keep a better lookout. I've no patience with you." "Pah!" retorted Percy. He forgot his good resolution and talked to Toby for the rest of the evening. Percy didn't speak to Thomas the next day either. "I say, Toby," said Percy in the shed that evening, "what's a drip? Do you know?" Toby thought about this. It's when rain comes through a hole in your cab and fireman doesn't have the time to mend it," he decided at last. "That's silly," objected Percy. "I heard a boy on the platform call his friend one this afternoon. I'm sure he couldn't fit through a hole in my cab," he added earnestly. Thomas was tired of being ignored. "That's different," he said. The boy probably thought his friend was being silly, or a coward, or a spoilsport. Percy thought about this. "So if," he suggested, reflecting his thoughts, "if you stop me doing something nice, would you be a drip, Thomas?" "You're the drip," snapped Thomas angrily. "Now go to sleep like a sensible engine and stop spouting nonsense." Percy was most offended. Instead of going to sleep, he became even more determined to pay Thomas out. Next day, Henry's train was late at the junction. When Thomas set out towards the valley, he was trying his hardest to make up for lost time. Suddenly, there was a loud bang. Something hard hit the bottom of his left-hand water tank. "Ouch!" exclaimed Thomas, and began to stop. As he did so, he felt water splashing cold against his wheels. "One of your side rods is broken," said his driver. "It's swung up and punctured your tank. We'll have to get help." At Farquhar, Percy was shunting. The station master came running up. "Leave those trucks, please, Percy," he said. "Thomas has got a hole in his water tank. There's water dripping everywhere. He can't get home on his own." Percy was still cross with Thomas. "I won't go. Thomas called me a drip," he said angrily. "Let him jolly well stay there and drip himself." "But what about Annie, Clarabelle and the passengers?" reminded Percy's driver. "Do they deserve to stay out all night too?" Percy was sorry at once. "Oh, I'd forgotten them," he said. "We must go and rescue them, or they might turn into drips too." With that, he hurried away. They found Thomas near the canal. Everyone was glad to see Percy, and the passengers thanked them for coming. "I'm sorry I was rude," said Thomas, as Percy helped him back to the shed. "That tank of mine turned me into a bigger drip than we expected, didn't it?" Percy chuckled. "Can we be friends again, please?" asked Thomas sympathetically. Percy was delighted to agree.